Today on City Wrestling Radio, MJF and Adam Cole weren't the only two working twice at AEW All In. We're going to go through the entire card, and we're also going to say goodbye to Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. All that and more today on City Wrestling Radio.
Yowie wowie!
Hello and welcome back to another wonderful episode of City Wrestling Radio, August 29th, 2023. I'm your host, Corey Smith, being joined as always by my co-host, Mr. Jose Oseguera. How are you today, sir?
Honestly, I am exhausted, but in a good way.
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm
well,
so satisfied. I can't. Let's go with the show.
Let's go with the show because, we might as well just get it over with now because next week we got a lot more stuff coming ahead of us, and we're going to get into all of that coming up. But AEW All In, what did you think of the show, Jose?
Chef's kiss of a show, man. Fun. That's all I could say.
Yeah,
Super fun. Stories were told with minimal microphones. I love that about
absolutely.
AEW.
Yeah,
I love that about AEW. It's a good show. I enjoyed it very much.
They did have the mic turned up ringside. There was a lot of things that happened where people were just screaming at each other. I'm like, that mic is turned way up
or really close.
Yeah. With MJF yelling, even Saraya's mom, Saraya yelling. I thought it was a great show too. They packed 81,035 into the Wembley Stadium. You're still going to have the tribalistic WWE fans still calling out that parts of the arena were tarped off. There was no hiding that, but the stadium was meant to hold 90,000 people. The stadium
exactly
altogether.
Tony Khan has the numbers to prove it. He has.
So So I thought it was a great show, but coming out of it, we're going into next week All In. We're going to see how successful that show is going to be coming off the heels of this one. It's just going to feel like a second-rate show. It's going to feel like a Thunder compared to a Nitro, a SmackDown to a Raw.
There should have been a 4-week break.
A Rampage to a Dynamite,
Yeah.
Or even now a Collision to a Dynamite.
Yeah. Do you think this was thrown together last minute where they just kind of had to fit it in somewhere, so they fit it in there?
Well, I heard something about Tony Khan wanting to do it because I guess this weekend was a bank holiday in London or Europe. Then next weekend, was it Labor Day in the States? I can't remember. I always get that Memorial Day confused. But so I heard he wanted to do it for both holidays, but to plan it this year and then to next year, plan it again, the same back to back, confirming that he wanted to do it back to back again.
Damn.
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
But the numbers don't lie right now. You know what I mean? What's my opinion at that point? But is this sustainable year after year?
No.
It remains to be seen.
It's gonna be wear and tear on the fan, man. We can't do this.
Yeah. I would think like an All In different parts of the world would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But let's get things started. Because there was some it was another brawl, not brawl out, we're brawling in. Another CM Punk fight backstage at AEW All In. I'm going to start things off with this because there was a reported confrontation between the MTV Real World Champion CM Punk and former Boy from the Jungle Jack Perry. During Perry's match with Hook, there was a spot when Perry slammed Hook onto the windshield of, I believe, was it a limousine? I did miss it. Yeah. And then proceeded to look into the camera and say, "That was real glass. Cry me a river." And this led to a confrontation between Punk and Perry backstage. There are multiple sides of the story as as there are with other Punk fights that have happened in the past. Punk's side of the story, or at least what Punk's camp is saying.
Okay.
He's saying that Perry approached Punk. Okay. He bumped him. I don't know if that was like a shoulder check or like a bump or whatever.
Yeah, it was shoulder check. Yeah.
And that led to Punk shoving Perry and then eventually choking Perry. So that's what Punk's side is saying.
Mhm.
Other accounts are saying that Punk approached Perry. Words were exchanged. Punk threw the first punch. Now that is a similar story to what happened, or at least the allegations made at AEW All Out 2022.
Mhm.
The Elite saying, at least some people saying that Punk threw the first punch, and then grabbed. Eventually, Punk grabbed a front face lock on Perry before it was all broken up. Khan did mention the altercation in the post-show media scrum, saying there will be an investigation into the matter. But according to Brian Alvarez of WrestlingObserver.com, both men have been suspended until the results of the investigation have been revealed, which is expected to happen after All Out in Chicago. Jose, what do you think of this fight? This
No way.
altercation,
Okay. Okay.
confrontation?
Yeah. There's also a third option, right? So there's one story, second story. There's a third option. We're all getting worked our asses off, right? So there's that possibility. But let's say this is shoot, and they really got into it. I'm putting my eggs in story number 2 on other accounts. My best guess is that Punk is short fused, gets offended really easy. Needs to take a chill pill because every
Yeah.
time someone says anything about him, he gets offended. Wait, you gotta say something, kid. I just don't see a reason why Jack Perry is gonna would just walk up and see him Punk and shoulder check him.
Okay, well, here's the thing. This is coming from reports weeks ago of something happening between Hook and Jack Perry. I
It's like,
guess
no,
Jack
no,
Perry
no, kid.
was set to, yeah, he wanted to use real glass,
Mm-hmm.
but even Tony Schiavone was like, "This is dangerous. We shouldn't be doing this," and they nixed it, and that's what led to, I guess, Perry on TV saying this. I mean, if they're leading to some sort of AEW roster versus Team CM Punk,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can see that.
Yeah.
And I was actually thinking about this because you are seeing a lot of people calling him the real world champion. Then you're seeing other people calling him the self-proclaimed real world champion, or
Mm-hmm.
he's calling him the self. So what if there is a split? What if there is some sort of like, well, we think Punk is our champion, but we think Punk isn't really the champion. MJF is the champion.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if there's some great debate? What if that is the overall arching storyline of Punk? And that could be because, I mean, there are some more reports that come out of AEW with CM Punk at Wembley Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
According to a report by Nick Hausman, when CM Punk arrived in London, apparently there was nobody representing AEW to pick him up at the airport.
Yeah. I
And
highly doubt that. Go ahead.
Punk, well, this is according to reports.
Sure. Sure. Mm-hmm.
Punk was given a number for car service, but when he texted, the message bounced back as undeliverable. After not being able to contact the higher ups within the company, Punk decided to take a train to the hotel, but in the process got lost for several hours and had to rely on fans to get him where he needed to be. So, I mean, hey, that could be another thing playing into that storyline. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Totally, because he totally curtain jerked it, and he was
and
on time and dressed. He wasn't late.
well, I mean, I
It
would
sounds like a big
suspect
ordeal. It sounds like a
it,
bigger ordeal than it was.
internationally, probably was there, probably arrived the day before. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
But I mean, this whole CM Punk thing, it's going back a year now. They haven't done the CM Punk elite thing, yet. That doesn't seem to be forming into a storyline, whether that was dropped, whether that actually was just a real thing, and just CM Punk being, an asshole, the elite being assholes to him, vice versa. I don't know where it's going, man. Like, it was CM Punk versus Jack Perry. Like,
Yeah,
why?
yeah.
Like, why would we want to watch that? I mean, it would be okay, sure, we would if they were
Mm-hmm.
like, tonight it's Jack Perry versus CM Punk. That sounds great,
Mm-hmm.
but why? What are you building this feud over to be backstage? This is kind of Vince Russo-y, is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, if this all turns out to be real, holy crap, right? I say holy crap just because for some reason AEW always gets his backstage politics conflated. Is that the
Yeah.
right word? And people are always taking the side. Well, okay, let's say this: they're less critical of WWE backstage shenanigans as opposed to AEW. Every time there's a little bit of noise in AEW of somebody not agreeing or something, discussion being had, it gets blown up. Oh, the locker room's in shambles. What are they going to do? They're going to fucking collapse. Come on.
Well, I do also think it's more of WWE has been through these things and they handled these things years ago, you know?
Right.
They handled this probably in the attitude era, in the ruthless aggression era. They're probably handling stuff even today, but they're a bigger company and I'm sure they're able to squash the beef, even faster.
Right. And they're
So,
the big leagues. Let's just call it what it is, right? That is the major leagues of professional wrestling. And once you make it to the majors, you try your best to stay there.
yeah. I mean, it remains to be seen what happens with CM Punk. But wow, it's just seems like we're getting more and more every week, or not every week, but every couple of weeks of
Yeah, yeah.
some sort of backstage stuff with him.
Something's
So,
always coming up with him. Yeah.
all right,
I hope
let's
it's
get
work. I hope it's work.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I want to like CM Punk. I do.
Yeah.
I used to love the guy. Just now, it's just I don't know. I guess he stands for good things, but at the same time, yeah, these reports are just kind of like making me go, why?
Yeah. Yeah.
We can start things off with the buy-in before All In 2023 kicked off. We started with the buy-in. The first match, MJF and Adam Cole defeating Aussie Open for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. So Aussie Open, they kind of seized an early advantage during the entrances, catching MJF and Cole off guard up the ramp. This was this is a relatively short match, but MJF eventually hit the kangaroo kick on Aussie Open, which wasn't what I expected. I don't know what I was expecting. It was more of a drop kick than a kangaroo kick.
Mm-hmm.
They
Well,
hit
he
the
did
double.
the whole.
That's true.
I'm
That's
going
true.
to kangaroo you.
Kangaroo Jack. Yeah.
There you go.
They hit the double clothesline on Kyle Fletcher for Adam Cole to secure the pin and the win and the ROH tag team titles. This was rather unexpected, at least from my end. There was no, tomfoolery. No man tried to get the advantage on the other guy for later in the night. No storyline was kind of advanced, except for, I guess, the one that nobody was expecting,
Mm-hmm. I was expecting it, to be honest.
Okay. Well, what were your thoughts of this match?
Okay, well, I saw it coming a mile away because this actually continues the story of the brochachos or the bromance. Now they have these titles that they have to defend, and they have to be a team to continue that.
Oh, you know what's funny too? They're the ROH tag team title champions. So MJF and Adam Cole are going to have to show up on Ring of Honor TV to defend these titles. They're going to get in a feud with the Dalton Castle or the Boys. I don't know. I don't even know any other Ring of Honor tag team.
I watch too much wrestling as it is.
Then we had the aforementioned Hook defeating Jack Perry to regain the FTW title. Perry rode to the ring in a limousine. Hook meeting him up the entrance ramp. Perry dominated early with a limo top, suplex, and an RVD rolling thunder on the hood of the car. Perry did taunt CM Punk. That's at that point, leading to the backstage altercation. Eventually, Hook secured the victory, locking in the red rum. I thought this was a decent match. I mean, Hook. I think Hook looks really good. I mean,
yeah,
he needs to add a little bit of weight to him. I think he's kind of skinny, kind of small,
cruiserweighty.
Right now, he can dominate. Maybe he could win the TNT title eventually, but and it would be an uphill battle for him. But I think he should add on a little bit of muscle, kind of how Will Ospreay did. Will Ospreay's kind of filled out a little bit.
Yeah, how old is this kid?
Hook, I would say
early
early 20s. Yeah.
Plenty of time. You just mature and you just get thick out of nowhere. Yeah.
What do you think of Hook in this match?
Hey man, so far this is turning out to be not just a buy-in, but a legit part of the pay-per-view or the premium event. I'm buying everything these guys are selling. That Rolling Thunder, oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I don't
Good
know
match.
what's up. I don't know what's up with Tony Khan and his casino puns and his love of casino. Like he loves the casino. Like everything he does is like a buy-in, a casino battle royal, like the
Joker's
Joker.
wild. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, man, I don't know. I'm again worried about him. He could have a gambling problem.
Maybe,
I
maybe.
might have to have him call 1-800-GAMBLER.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Shout out to 1-800-GAMBLER, helping people through their gambling addiction. No, it's not a joke. Just the numbers funny because it makes me think of what was it, Kenny Rogers,
Gotta know when to hold 'em.
the gambler. Then we officially kick things off AEW All In with Samoa Joe, or sorry, CM Punk defending his real world championship against Samoa Joe. Um, so, like I said, it was billed as the real world champion, but coming from him or graphic and quotations, I think that's okay. But from the announcers, like the announcer called him the real world champion, unless it's going into that storyline we were talking about. It should be self proclaimed. Just saying, because he's not really the champion.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real.
They do a good job of going over the history of that. How he's never lost it. He's got injured and he got stripped of the title. So I'm big up for that. At least they're doing that.
Yeah.
They could totally ignore history and just a la WWE.
Well, I mean, him coming back just without the title and like, hey, dude, you're not the champion. You can try to be the champion. We can give you a title match again.
Yeah.
But the match started slow with the two trading a lot of headlocks. Joe then kind of paid homage, I felt, to Sami Zayn. Did you catch this part, or was it
They
just
said
me?
they said, that's shades of El Generico.
Okay, yeah, because he was trying to have the crowd do the ole 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 ole,
Mhm.
and then he went to do the haluva kick on Punk in the corner.
Then
Eventually,
he did the Generico bomb. I forgot.
exactly. Was it
Yeah,
coming off? Was that when Punk was coming off the top rope or coming off the Hurricane Rana?
I think so.
Yeah, when he came off
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Hurricane
yeah.
Rana, then he slammed him into the bottom of the announcer's table, which was like just one big piece of plywood that just came off, you know?
Dude, it was like cardboard.
And then Punk comes out, and this guy is sliced
Oof.
open.
Yeah, it was dark in there. You can see what he was doing.
Well, it's not like, was it who was it, like Eddie Guerrero back in the day when he nixed his vein up here and it was just like
Mhm.
squirting blood.
Yeah.
That was bad. This was just, it was a lot of blood. At one point he's dripping blood when he's hanging over the ropes, but
Mhm.
not Eddie Guerrero bad squirting. Like I said, both these men paying tribute, I guess, to other wrestlers. Punk getting heat for doing the Cena spot, Joe doing a Hogan spot, and then the aforementioned Sami Zayn spot or El Generico spot. Let's see. I felt like it was weird because Joe had control about 80% of this match. And then with Joe just outpowering Punk at every chance he got. But eventually Punk hits the Pepsi plunge to get the pin and the win. Jose, your thoughts on this match?
This was a lull so far for me. Has Punk always been so shaky upon his landings? It feels like he's not as solid. Like his foundation is not as solid as he used to be. Has he always been kind of rubber leggy? Do you know?
I mean, maybe a little bit, but nothing that I've kind of noticed
Okay, well, I
recently.
mean,
But
it's about time that ring rust should be shaken off, and he's still showing some signs. Maybe it's just signs of aging. Nothing against him. You can wrestle until you're 60, like a la Sting, but he,
or his legs were tired because he was taking the fucking tram, the subway,
he was on
the
the train all
tube.
day.
He
Yeah,
was taking the tube looking for his
he
hotel.
was on the metro. Yeah, well, maybe,
I
but
don't
yeah,
know.
I think it feels to me like he's lost a step. I'm not feeling this match.
I wasn't either. I didn't think it was a good opener to this show, especially
Yeah.
with all the homages and tributes. I was a
Mhm.
little
And
off putting.
they both did the Hogan thing. Like Punk did the whole, the ear thing, and then
Yeah,
he dropped the leg. He did the leg
yeah.
drop,
And then
and then that's right after. That's when Samoa Joe did the you.
yeah, yeah, the Hulk up type deal.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, it was. I don't know if they were just trying to play into like, oh, these guys they know Hulk Hogan. I don't know.
That's a horrible idea. If that was their
Or like
function.
they know Hulk Hogan, they know Sami Zayn, they know. To
Mhm.
me, yeah, I didn't like those spots. So
Yeah.
I agree with you. I didn't like this match that much. But we move on to the next match with Bullet Club Gold and God, I always mess up his name. Was it Koneske
Dude, don't even ask because I've as many times as I've heard it, I still can't say it right, and it's spelled differently than the way it's pronounced. Takeshita. Takeshita.
Takeshita.
Yes.
Bullet Club Gold and Takeshita defeating the Golden Elite, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi with Hangman Page. I mean, that was a good match. Page and Omega continue to look very good together, working together. Ibushi, however, I feel like hasn't been his self since leaving New Japan, I believe, in 2019 or 2020.
Yeah, he's gained a little bit of weight. I'm not, I don't want to be picky, but he's gained a little bit of weight, and that might have slowed him down. And I'm sure he's lacking practice and ring rust again.
Well, I mean, it's noticeable in a guy like Kota Ibushi
Mhm.
when he was very, very thin.
He was
Like
and he
and
was
he wore like the tiniest little trunks ever.
yeah,
Like he wore tiny trunks, and now I'm like, those trunks are a little bigger.
yeah,
And he's a little thicker, and that's fine. But I think he should just try to evolve with it. You know what I mean? Not just kind of stick
yeah,
with the same old
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Good point. Good point.
And even at one point when they did him and Omega did their double moonsaults, Ibushi slipped on the ropes and had to go to the
Mm,
bottom rope to do it to
yeah, I
the
saw
outside.
that. Ouch.
The Ass Boys distracted Hangman Page from hitting the buckshot. Cody tries to hit the Kamagoye on Takeshita, but Takeshita hits the jumping knee to Kota Ibushi. And then as Kenny Omega runs wild on Bullet Club Gold, Takeshita just runs into the ring and rolls up Kenny Omega for the pin and the win. I thought it was a hell of a match. I'll be honest. Like everything about this match did look good, except for the couple spots that we talked about with Ibushi. Just thought the ending was a little abrupt, and I wasn't a big fan of that.
Well,
However, it is leading to the one-on-one match with Kenny Omega and Takeshita at All Out.
Takeshita really recovered really fast on that last one, right?
Yeah, no,
Like
definitely.
he totally recovered and came in with the roll up. That was a little off putting, but yes, dope match. I had fun. We're back on track, guys.
Then we go up to FTR defeating the Young Bucks to retain their AEW World titles. This was absolutely an incredible match with both teams hitting their high spots, multiple unforeseen knockouts, and even hitting each other's high spots on each other. There was FTR trigger by FTR to the Bucks. Bucks hit the Shatter Machine. Eventually, there was one point where Mr. No Flips, Just Fish, Cash Wheeler, he slammed hard into the mat after
Oh,
hitting a 450 splash.
that was wonderful.
It was a lot of highs and lows because, like I said, you see people like Cash Wheeler going for that 450 splash, something he's not accustomed to,
Mm-hmm.
and completely backfiring on him. So after the Shatter Machine and a BTE trigger to FTR, the Bucks go for the Meltzer driver on Cash Wheeler, but Dax runs into the ring to save Cash. Then FTR hit the Shatter Machine on Nick Jackson as he's coming off the ropes. They get the pin and the win, kind of taking the rubber match in the best of three series. Well, not
Dude,
best of three, but
Nick really ate those knees up, right? He looked like he took it really stiff.
definitely. What did you think of this match, Jose?
Contender for match of the year.
You
This
think
this
so?
was this was off the hook. I loved it. I had a blast.
I thought it was, yeah, I thought it was both really good. This and the match before it were both just magnificent. I
Mhm.
absolutely loved it. Next up, Orange Cassidy, the Best Friends, Penta, and Eddie Kingston defeated John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, Mike Santana, and Ortiz.
It wasn't Penta. It was Penta Oscuro.
No. It was Penta Ocero Miedo, and then he got knocked out, and then it was Penta Obscuro.
That
Right?
got the win. Yes.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. You're right. Well, I just shorted Penta for short. They're both.
Yeah, they're both cool.
It's confusing when you abbreviate them both to Penta, but
Mhm.
it's no. Anyways, the match started on the ramp. Moxley brandishing a branding iron at one point. I believe paying a tribute to Terry Funk.
I hope so.
That was
I
my
think
first
so.
thought.
Yeah.
I don't know why else.
You never see a branding iron. Terry Funk was the only one to do that.
Yeah. Penta runs wild on Ortiz and Mike Santana. Sorry, I couldn't get over like Excalibur every time. Mike Santana. I get it. You're trying to get his name in. You're trying to make us forget that his name was just Santana. Wants you Mike Santana now, but it was just, to me, it felt like a little WWE forced.
Yeah, like when they drop people's last names.
Exactly.
This
Yeah.
was the opposite of that.
Yeah. Or just like Oh, look, like when somebody calls somebody, we're like, come on, come down to the ring, Neville, the man that gravity forgot.
Yeah.
Then Penta decided he wanted to do a little bit of barbecuing because he pulled out the kebabs, but instead of barbecuing, he just skewered up John Moxley's forehead, which
Oh my god.
I don't think we've seen the skewers busted out kind of outside of Japan.
Yeah.
So that was really cool seeing that spot. I gasped, I cringed, I told my girlfriend not to look,
Yeah. He was
because
walking around with those things like,
I
"Urgh."
know what she would have thought by it. Then while Penta, OC, and Trent were battling Moxley, Mike Santana, and Ortiz in or near the ring, Kingston was battling Claudio Castagnoli in the Royal Viewing Box with Wheeler and Chuck Taylor in the garage. OC tries his OC shtick with Moxley, but Moxley quickly pulls out a fork and just repeatedly
Oh my,
stabs Orange Cassidy into the head into a bloody mess.
that was vicious. Yeah.
Eventually, Sue rolls up to the stadium with her European van, freshly baked cookies.
You
But
gotta
the
love the London crowd chanting Sue. Oh,
Yeah,
that was great.
so then after OC is a bloody mess, he eventually makes a makeshift glove made out of
Oh,
broken glass and duct tape.
I
Uh,
love that.
let's see CM Punk say something about that, right?
Hmm.
I mean, it was probably sugar glass, I'm guessing.
Oh,
But
it turned into powder afterwards when Moxley threw it in the ring. It was just like dust.
they're like, God damn it. Kingston makes his way back to the ring with a barbed wire wrapped chair. Kingston beat down on Claudio with the chair, but is stopped by John Moxley. This is leading to a new side because usually Moxley and Kingston, they've come face to face, but they haven't brawled yet.
Mhm.
Mox and Kingston go face to face. Kingston hits a back elbow to Claudio. That's when Moxley tried to hit the paradigm shift on Kingston into the broken glass, but Kingston pushed Moxley through a table that was in the corner. Orange Cassidy hits the orange plunge to Claudio with the broken glass glove and gets the pin and the win. I mean, I think this match was just all around crazy. That being said, I feel like there was a little bit of craziness that didn't really come with this match like it had with previous Stadium Stampede matches. Past Stadium Stampede matches saw them go to different arenas, different parts of the stadium using things like horses, forklifts, things of that nature. And here it was just a hardcore match, you know?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but here's where the difference is. Usually they go to venues where they're in an arena and
Yeah.
they move the event into an empty stadium. In this case, they started in the stadium. There's nowhere to go except into your surroundings. Usually they're able to, exit the regular ring and then go into a stadium.
Yeah.
Stampede Stadium, hence the name, right? So that's what, kind of hampered them. I'm not a big fan of these type of matches, but man, did I have fun on this.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
dude, how about that Penta Oscuro spot
Oh,
where
yeah. I forgot to bring that.
they broke the ladder
Yeah.
and he made it up and got back on that ladder, jumped off, and oh man, no words, no words. This match was dope, man. I'm not a huge fan of these hardcore matches, but sold me. You sold me.
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of the Penta thing where he kind of got the worked injury and then left and came back as Penta Obscuro with all the red. And to me, it was just a little like, really?
Yeah,
Like this stadium, you got a guy stabbing a guy another with a fork, and you're gonna come out like, "Oh, I got a wardrobe change, so I'm all better now."
yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
I dug it. I thought that was fun.
No, I did too. I just if I'm gonna nitpick.
Okay.
Next up, CM Punk and Samoa Joe, they're saved because this honestly was my least favorite match of the night. Saraya defeating Tony Storm, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Hikaru Shida to become the new AEW Women's Champion. So this was probably, like I said, my least favorite match of the night, but it wasn't bad per se. Saraya comes down to the ring to "We Will Rock You" by Queen with her family. Yes, don't adjust your screens. The knights are on your TV. Uh, and and they're in all their glory. When the match started, it kind of seemed like a 2-on-1 with Saraya and Tony Storm working together against Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker. Then it quickly broke down when they both tried to pin Shida at one point, led to bickering between the two. The straw that broke the camel's back, though, was when Storm accidentally punched Soraya's mom, Saraya, in the face.
Whoops.
Saraya then goes after Storm, chopping and striking her. Britt has this match won at one point, though, where she's locking in the lockjaw on Hikaru Shida. That's when Storm runs into the ring with the AEW women's title belt in hand, looking to break up the hold, but Saraya runs in, sprays the green spray paint in her face. She hits her finisher, the nightcap, which is a stuffed DDT, and then pins Tony Storm to become the new AEW Women's Championship. This is Saraya's first time holding the AEW title. I think this is actually Saraya's first time holding any championship since being injured years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
This match was okay. It had some good storytelling. I love Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker. I don't know how I feel about it personally, though. The crowd was kind of dead at this point. It did happen after Stadium Stampede. And so, I don't know. At this point, Saraya winning to me doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It seems like Tony Khan is just trying to run 2010 WWE all over again. At least with Christian, CM Punk, Saraya. Jose, what were your thoughts of this match?
I really liked the match. I thought it was too short. I think it clocked in like at maybe 9 minutes, 10 minutes. If we ran a little bit longer, we probably would have got better storytelling. That being said, Saraya only won to pop the crowd. Let's be honest. That's the only reason she won. Cool moment. I don't think it's gonna. I think her title reign is gonna be short lived. She'll probably gets it back. Maybe Britt Baker. I maybe Tony Storm in a beef. Yeah, I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it better than the CM Punk match. I'll tell you that. Maybe I'm being biased.
Yeah, I can't wait though for Tony Storm to lay fully into this new 1920s actress character she's doing.
She's looking good, right?
Like I want her to see her doing some black and white vignettes, like I need to get ready for the new movie coming out. I gotta do it. Things like that.
You dastardly villain.
How dare you? Oh my word.
Sheeta's outfit was dope.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. They were even saying how she does a lot of cosplay, I guess. Which Kenny Omega does cosplay. It's how I think they met. That's how they met back in the day. So I think when they were together, I don't think they are.
Yeah, anymore. And she does that performative samurai thing, right?
I don't have no idea.
I follow her on Twitter. I mean X. Yeah, she does like a performative, almost like a kabuki type of show, but it's very samurai centric, and swords, katanas. That's where she gets the props from. Yeah.
Okay. Then we go up to the next match of the night. Swerve and Christian Cage with Sting and Darby Allin defeating Swerve and Christian Cage with Luchasaurus in a coffin match. I felt like this match was mostly Swerve versus Sting. Did you kind of get that same feeling to you?
Yes. They were the main draws of this match.
Yeah, with Christian and Darby just kind of playing background characters, at least in my opinion.
No, I'm with you.
Sting came out to Metallica's Seek and Destroy. I don't remember him coming out to Seek and Destroy. When did he come out to Seek and Destroy?
It started in WCW.
Okay, that's what I thought.
A little bit after the Wolfpack gimmick.
Okay.
So after the Wolfpack, then he got the Seek and Destroy. Like he took a break, then came back, and then he carried that over to TNA Impact.
Okay. Well, because he's full. He is full Heath Ledger Joker mode, where it's this weird amalgam Sting, because you got Seek and Destroy, you have the red and black Wolfpack shirt on, then he's doing the TNA Joker face paint, so it's just a little bit of everything here.
It's greatest hits Sting.
Swerve comes out to the live music stylings of Flash Garments. Swerve While You Drive apparently is a song. I don't know if it's about drunk driving, but I don't know. It's a little weird to me. I did always like that song though. I do love Prince Nana, doing his dance when he comes out. Yeah. It's great. Prince Nana's he's starting to wear off on me. Because or wear on me because I'm
Oh,
starting
okay.
to really like him. I like him a lot.
Hmm.
Um,
It's a big nothing burger for me so far. We'll see.
Sting and Christian have a face-off, eliciting a TNA chant from 81,000 people. Sting at one point hits his splash onto Swerve outside on a table, but the table doesn't break.
Oh,
So
because
Sting,
these European tables are very strong. Didn't you know?
I don't know. I honestly think the US just has a problem with our tables being flimsy
There you go. This is a standard table around the world.
because every other country in the world, they have these strong as fuck tables that
Mhm.
nobody can break.
Yeah.
So Sting goes back up to the ring and does a leg drop from the top to put Swerve through the table, which
Oh
I
yeah,
thought
he's
was,
gonna break that table.
yeah. That's when so sorry. Where we're at. There we go. That's when Swerve takes over eventually at one point. He gets Sting in the coffin. He wants to bury the bat with him, which I thought was a horrible idea because I'm like, why are you giving Sting his bat, man?
Yeah.
That's some super villain shit right there, you know.
Mhm. I'm
When
gonna bury you with your shield, Captain America. You just wait.
exactly. Yeah. Oh, Thor, you're gone. Bury you with your hammer. Yeah. Sting is in the coffin. That's when Swerve slams the door shut, but Sting stuck his baseball bat between the opening of the coffin, allowing it not to shut. So that's when he was saved at that point. Both Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne did briefly join the action. Sting dodges a 450 splash by Swerve. Swerve crashes into the coffin. We have a Scorpion death drop to Swerve into the coffin, but Swerve refuses to go down. That's when he's trying to climb out of the coffin, and Darby Allin does a coffin drop to the top of the coffin, smashing Swerve in between and putting him back in the coffin to secure the victory. What did you think of this match, Jose?
Fun match. I had a blast. One bone to pick. If Sting's bat kept the match from ending, then Swerve's dreadlocks that are sticking
Dreadlocks,
out,
right?
that
Yeah,
should stop.
yeah.
That should have not counted.
I thought the same thing. Thought the
Okay.
exact same thing.
I'm not alone.
I didn't write down because I kind of let it go. I didn't think anyone else. Everyone would be like, "Corey, come on, that's." But thank you for bringing it up because I saw that and I was like, it's not technically closed all the
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
There's
exactly.
still a millimeter. There
Mhm.
should be like
And it
some sort
wasn't
of.
one dread. It was like a
It was
few.
a few of his dreads, yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a good match, though. It was fun, you
Yeah,
know.
it is what it is. You're getting classic Sting. You know he's not gonna go like he did back in the '90s.
Right.
But he took up a big workload and he looked good doing it at age 62 or wherever he's at right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, we have Will Ospreay defeating Chris Jericho in a singles match. Well, I mean, Fozzy finally did it. They played in front of 81,035.
If they could always say we played Wembley.
Osprey comes out as the aerial assassin, kind of full British babyface here. Osprey has control of the match early, hitting Chris Jericho with a drop kick, a sky twister, and eventually a phenomenal forearm. Osprey looking for a Stormbreaker, but Jericho reverses and locks Osprey into the walls of Jericho. Callis attempts to distract the ref to protect Osprey from tapping, but Sammy hits Osprey with the bat, which I thought was a great spot because it kind of just backfired on Callis and Osprey. Jericho hits Osprey with the code breaker, even hitting a Jarrett cutter to Will Osprey. Osprey also hulks up, and the Jarrett cutter did not look good. I mean, he hit it, but Osprey also, I guess, paid homage to Hogan doing a Hulk up spot too. I don't know. I thought it was weird. And beats down on Jericho until Jericho hits Osprey with a low blow. Stormbreaker to Jericho. Y2J kicks out a hidden blade, followed by another Stormbreaker, and Will Osprey gets the pin and the win on Chris Jericho. This was absolutely a fabulous match. Not the match of the night like I predicted, but Osprey, defeating Jericho, Okada, and Omega in the past few months, and he's going to be looking for a new contract soon. I see, eventually one day AEW champion written all over him. Jose, what do you think of this match?
Will Ospreay is getting propped up right now to be the guy in AEW. He is on the fast track. He's on a rocket ship. He is on his way. Could there be two matches that contend for match of the year in one night. Maybe possibly 3. Hell of a match. Jericho could still go.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, yeah.
we could say about a blown spot here or there, but man, he could still go. And you know what I was hoping for? Do you remember the
What?
old school walls of Jericho?
Oh, the lion tamer with the knee in the back.
The lion tamer. Yes, I
Yeah,
was hoping that would make an appearance. We didn't get it. Oh well, but that would have made my night.
yeah. Next up, that's when they announced the attendance as 81,035. And then we had the Acclaim defeating the House of Black to win their first AEW Trios Championship.
What?
The House of Black paid tribute to Bray Wyatt coming out to the ring with a lantern, and also Malachi kind of wearing a similar, one of the similar masks that Bray wore kind of in his later WWE gimmicks in the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
This was a house rules match. Again, Tony Khan with his casino terms.
Yeah.
And the Acclaim select no holds barred, which I'm starting to think this house rule stuff is going to backfiring on the House of Black because, I mean, yeah, it already backfired here, but at the same time, it's like an automatic win match. A House of Black cannot win match. I know it sounds stupid, but
That was all their matches, right? They I think they announced it maybe a month or two ago, where any contender that they had, they would have the pick of the rules. That's how I understood it. Am I
or at
wrong?
least to make it fair for their competitors.
Yeah,
They let them pick one rule or something.
Yeah, well, it backfired here.
Let's see. All the men battle in the ring. Gunn teasing a dive. Julia Hart getting involved in the match, eventually receiving a scissor me timbers by the Acclaimed. I don't know how I feel about that spot. It was a little random. I felt like it wasn't needed.
It's very Dudley Boy 90s.
Yeah. But the story is really not about Bowens or Caster. It's about Daddy Ass.
No.
Towards the
Not Daddy Ass.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The badass. Billy Gunn.
Badass. Get it again. Towards the end of the match, though, the Acclaimed hit 2 Arrival plus mic drop combos to Brody King, followed by a Famouser. All members of the Acclaimed paid Brody to secure the trios titles. I really, 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 really like this match because it seemed to me like what a real fight would be like. It was brutal, it was hard hitting, and it was a little sloppy, but it was awesome in every respect.
Yeah, all the 3-on-1s that we got, that was really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Both teams got a chance to do a 3-on-1. That was really cool. It was a fun match. Yeah, I can't complain. Very 90s, like I said, but everybody, we all need that every once in a while.
And it was cool seeing the House of Black hand the titles over to the Acclaimed afterwards.
Yeah.
So, are the House of Black, are they faces? Are they heels? I don't know.
They're tweeners, let's say. Dude, have you noticed that we got maybe one heel win the whole night?
Which one? Oh, Takeshita?
Oh, 2. And Sarai. Okay. But is she really a heel, though?
Was she a heel?
Hometown hero?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I would say not.
Yeah, Bullet Club Gold.
Yeah,
that's the only heel victory we've gotten so far.
I mean, if you count MJF, but I don't know. He's been pretty much
now. Yeah. I mean, spoilers, everybody.
So MJF, next up the main event, MJF defeating Adam Cole to retain the AEW World Championship. At the beginning of this match, it was really weird because Taz and Nigel McGuinness got really territorial around London and Long Island.
There was even
Taz, Taz was really like, "Hey, don't talk about Long Island," and then Nigel's like, "Don't you talk about London?
What do you think you are?" Yeah, and they hit dead silence after a little bit. It was like awkward.
Yeah,
like the mics got turned off.
So as the match got started, both men put on their AEW tag team shirts. MJF and Cole put, like I said, they put on their shirts. They start off with a bunch of headlocks, running the ropes. MJF gets a sportsmanship chant, but eventually poking Cole in the eyes. That's when things begin to break down between the two men. Both men had great near fall moments, with Adam Cole hitting a heat seeker on MJF, MJF hitting a heat seeker on Cole. MJF goes for the tombstone on Cole on the announcer's table, but he can't because it's his best friend. Cole reverses and hits MJF with the tombstone, but the table doesn't break.
Those London tables.
London tables. Then for some reason, the two men yell double clothesline and double clothesline each other with Bryce Remsburg just jumping to make the pin and counts it a double pinfall. And
What?
I was kind of like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
When in history has this ever happened? When no.
This spot didn't need to be needed too, because just like the Julia Hart, in my opinion, the match would not have made a difference if this spot did not take place.
You know what they should have done?
What?
They should have counted to 10. Double
Yeah.
count
Okay.
out.
Okay. Yeah, that would have made more sense to me. But have Bryce Remsburg kind of be like, I don't know what to do. This is the main event, and then have him be hesitant, have him be reluctant to make that 10 count. But instead, he just went 1, 2, 3. Well, they both had their shoulders down. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, and the announcer was, I guess it's a draw. I guess we all go home now.
He's like, you're really gonna have me tell 81,000 people it's a fucking draw, Mr. Remsburg? That's when Cole asks for 5 more minutes, but MJF says no 5 minutes, no time limit. It's sudden death.
Oh, let's go.
That's when the bell rings and they go back and forth, trying to steal pinfalls on each other. We get a ref bump, and MJF realizes and goes to the outside for a chair. Both men attempt to Eddie Guerrero each other, which I thought was a great spot because
MJF won that battle.
Yeah, because Adam Cole goes down doing the first fall, like, oh, he hit me. Then MJF just wraps the chair around his head and falls down.
No, his whole attitude with that, he was like, well, I guess I'm doing better.
Yeah. Adam Cole goes for the Panama Sunrise, but MJF pulls the ref in the way, leading to Adam Cole hitting the move on the ref. I don't know why he couldn't have stopped halfway through, but
yeah, momentum.
It is really like a 2-part maneuver too. You jump down and then jump again. Yeah. So, and it's also like a part Canadian Destroyer. So you need 2 people to do it. Yeah. Which is ridiculous. MJF pulls out the diamond ring, but quickly puts it away because, again, it's his best friend and he does not want to screw over his best friend. But Roderick Strong wants to screw over MJF, so he comes out to the ring, low blows MJF. Even Adam Cole hitting the Panama Sunrise on MJF right after this, hitting the boom, getting the visual 20 count pretty much. Strong throws the title into the ring, but Cole, he has a second change of heart. Resisting to hit MJF with the title, but all of a sudden MJF cradles Cole and retains his title. After the match, MJF went to console his friend, handing him the ROH tag title, saying, hey man, you did great, buddy. You did great. Don't beat up on yourself. It's all about these. It's all about these tag titles we won. That's when Adam Cole threw the title out in a fit of anger, that leading to MJF becoming furious, throwing the world title at Cole, saying, if this is all you want, take it, and then turns his back on Cole, leaving Cole wide open to take the shot on MJF. But that's when Adam Cole just can't. He apparently had a discussion with Dr. Dre and Eminem because he had a discussion with his conscience, and decided not to hit to MJF with the title. Hit him with the title, and then 2 men hugged and they walked off together holding the ROH tag team titles. This was another good match for the night, but with a sudden finish. I don't know. I don't know how I felt about the finish, but what did you think of the match?
Can there be 3 matches in one show that can be considered best of the year?
I mean, yes.
Yes. This match, the best part of this match was how we got swerved. Now, how did we get swerved? How many times did we know? We knew MJF was going to break.
Yeah.
And he was going to turn and he was going to be evil MJF. Just like we always know. He fought it and fought it and fought it and didn't break. Never broke. He is a brochacho. And that was great storytelling. Great storytelling physically. And with the microphone right on the stage, you can call it, that super helped. Nobody had to grab a microphone and be like, you were my friend, I trusted you. None of that was needed. None of that was needed. One thing that I did notice on MJF's, he has one hand taped and the other one all the way down.
Yeah.
The tape rolled up and there was a big ball that looked like it could have been a ring in that tape.
Oh,
I'm thinking maybe it was a spare ring in case he lost the one in his underwear. it was a weird bump that I've never seen on anybody's tape job. So that, just something that I've noticed.
Okay. I mean, I thought it was a great match. The ending of the match, we all got swerved. We all thought, like you said, somebody was going to turn on somebody, and it just wasn't. It was just these two guys were friends, and they thought they were going to screw each other, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So
And Adam Cole tried his hardest to be the heel and get that heel heat, which he got.
definitely.
Both can do both roles very good,
Oh,
very well. And they both did both roles very well.
yeah. Then we move on from All Out to some rather unfortunate news that
Mm,
the entire wrestling world has kind of pretty much been aware of since it happened. We start things off. I'm not going to go in sequential order. I'm just going to go in what I want to talk about first. But the
sure.
passing of former WWE champion Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, sadly passed away at the age of 36 last week. The announcement was made by Triple H, conveying the news on Twitter, stating that Wyatt's father, Mike Rotunda, had informed him of the unexpected passing. Levesque requested the privacy of the Rotunda family. He said received a call from former WWE Hall of Famer Mike Rotunda, who informed me the tragic news of our WWE family member Bray Wyatt. Wyndham Rotunda, he's passed away. Unexpectedly passed away earlier today. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family. It was then reported by Fightful that Wyatt's passing was due to a heart attack. Sean Ross Sapp shared that Wyatt had experienced complications from COVID-19 earlier in the year, which exacerbated the existing heart conditions that he had. Despite initial positive progress in the recovery, he suffered that fatal heart attack. Wyatt had been absent from wrestling since February due to the undisclosed illness, which Fightful then reported at the time was both career and life threatening. Although his condition had improved significantly, he remained under close observation by WWE and medical professionals due to concerns about his well being. His father, Mike Rotunda, expressed hope for Wyatt's return in a recent interview, but Wyatt, who had returned to WWE in October for Extreme Rules, uh, back in 2021, after being released in 2021, he was a one-time WWE champion. He was a two-time Universal champion, portraying just multitude of characters, the Fiend, the leader of the Wyatt family, alongside Eric Rowan, Braun Strowman, and the late Luke Harper, Brody Lee, yeah, and even Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan
Mhm.
playing roles in the Wyatt family. He's survived by his four children, his fiance, Jose, what is it? Jojo,
Josiane, yeah.
Josiane Offerman, and his extended family, including his father Mike, his mother Stephanie, his brother Taylor, which is Bo Dallas, and his sister Mika. I mean, this, like I said, this is an absolute shock to everyone. This is kind of one where it hurt, I think, everyone a little bit harder than the Terry Funk, the news of Terry Funk the day before, because with Terry Funk, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say we saw it coming, but we all knew that Terry Funk was not in good health in recent years, and we knew Bray wasn't in the best of health, but we didn't know it was like this.
Mhm, mhm.
And we saw his whole career just kind of flash before our eyes. And to see him just kind of gone at this point, it's crazy because he really was the one of the most creative people, I think, in WWE or in wrestling in the past 20 years. Jose, what do you anything you want to say about Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, man, condolences to the family, of course. Family, the kids, man, I feel bad for the kids. Being a dad myself, I know how tough that must be on the family. Yeah, dude, first ballot Hall of Famer in his young career, only 36, and I could say honestly that I feel he's a Hall of Famer.
Well, I think
Si
he'll probably be inducted this year.
Yeah, 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 totally, and he should be. His contribution is way beyond what his age should give, right? This is usually around 36 is the time people are hitting their peak or they're at their max level.
We're no, we're about to hit our peak. Or 38's our peak.
Okay.
I'm 36. That's what
Yeah.
it's crazy to me. Like
Dude, that's scary. Yeah.
I was older than Bray Wyatt, and like
Yeah, dude, and there was so much left in the tank, I feel. There was so much left creatively to tell. And to get that
yeah,
cut short is, it's a disservice to him and his legacy. But he does have a legacy. He is gonna live forever in our hearts, in our minds, in our DVRs. So I'm glad that he was around, and I'm glad that I enjoyed him when he was around. I'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it was shown how much Bray meant to everyone, with everyone kind of showing their, their grief.
To both companies, yeah.
Yeah, kind of even AEW calling him Bray Wyatt on TV, not holding back. They did call him Wyndham Rotunda, but they said better known as Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. And I think a
Uh,
couple people wore the Bray sleeves, right?
exactly. Oh, who wore the one where it was like Bray? Um,
Brody.
Brody and Jay. I think it was one of the it was someone in FTR, wasn't it?
I think it was. I think it was Dax.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And to see him and now, and the one thing that kind of bothered me, I know people were grieving and everyone grieves in their own ways, but there was a lot of people like right after he died, people were like, well, at least he'll be with Brody now. And it was kind of like, all right, guys, it's a little too soon. I don't know. Like, I guess it's all what you believe, and I don't know.
Yeah.
He was kind of like that guy in high school, like he's kind of that guy in high school. We all kind of knew him. We all kind of felt what he felt because he was so emotional. And then he left a lasting impersonation on everyone, whether you knew him or not. And now he's just gone. Flash of the
Yeah.
pan.
Yeah. Well, celebrities tend to do that when they're around. Everybody gets this connection with the particular celebrity because we see them on a everyday basis, almost as if they're like a friend.
Yeah.
So I understand that connection and how people could make that I don't want to call it an error, but the misstep.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, to me, it's just yeah. So it very sad. We also, like
Yeah,
I said,
I had a hard time watching SmackDown.
yeah, no, it was a lot of feelings. Like, and it's kind of sucks that when everyone knows that you're like the wrestling guy at a news place, because everyone was coming up to me, what happened? What happened? What happened? You mean times I had to tell that story the other day at work?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure. Then at first it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
oh, because the thing that was that kind of was like the most shocking out of it is this is the day right after Terry Funk passed away, and like I said, with Terry Funk passing, it was a little different. He was 79 years old, and we kind of knew it was eventually coming. Mick Foley confirmed the news on social media, said he spoke with Funk's daughter, Brandy. Foley expressed his deep sorrow and described Funk as a mentor, idol, and his closest friend, praising him as one of the greatest wrestlers to have ever wrestled. His passing was prompted by tributes throughout the wrestling community. Throughout his career, Funk received various honors, including the Iron Mike Mizuki Award. I'm totally pronouncing that wrong.
I'm not
And
too
the
sure I'm familiar with
and,
that. Yeah.
and the induction into the Hardcore Hall of Fame in 2005, as well as the entry into the International Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2021. He was also honored by Tokyo Sports with Lifetime Achievement Award in 1983.
Wow.
Funk's legacy is as believed to be one of like the legend of professional wrestling. I think he's going to be known as the king of hardcore wrestling. I think his father was Dory Funk, was known as the king of the Texas Death Match. I mean, let's not be honest though. Let's not beat around the bush. Funk did, like, he was known outside of the ring too, like in the like movies and TVs. The list of his roles in movies, he was, that's not movies, that's TV.
Okay.
He was in the movie The Ringer. He played Frankie in The Ringer.
I
He
don't
played
remember that.
he played Frankie the Thumper in Paradise. Wait, he was in The Ringer?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. That's the Johnny Knoxville film,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He was a fan in Friday Night Lights. He was Morgan in Active Stealth. Jungle Ed in Mom, Can I Keep Her? He played Morgan in Roadhouse, which I think is probably his most notable role, or Bearded Cowboy in Time Stalkers. Oh, he was also in Over the Top, played Rucker. He's in TV shows, Quantum Leap, Swamp Thing, Tequila and Bonetti.
Never heard of that.
The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. Thunder in Paradise. We all know that one.
Yeah, we know that very well.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I'll be honest though, it's one of those things. Terry Funk to me, I didn't experience him a lot growing up, but I did kind of know him in the later years. I didn't want to watch a lot of ECW growing up, but I experienced, his later stuff in WWE with Mankind when it was Chainsaw Charlie
Chainsaw Charlie. Yeah.
and Cactus Jack. What are your thoughts on Terry Funk's career?
I don't. I remember him from back in the day. I believe he did a little stint in AWA and WCW. I remember all those. I remember the tape exchanges from back in the '90s where you would see the Japanese death matches. He was all over those.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
the one thing that made ECW famous though is the very famous. It's very huge moment where they asked him and Cactus Jack asked for chairs inside the
Oh yeah,
WCW,
everyone throws chairs. Yeah,
and just a mountain of chairs arrived. I mean, it was raining chairs.
yeah,
Great, great memory. Um, again, thoughts and prayers to everyone in the Funk family. Um, he lived a long life though. He was around for a very long time. Sad
yeah,
that we lost him. What can you say? Legend, effing legend.
yeah, yeah. And then we look ahead to next week because I said next week we got like just too many shows. WWE, what is it? Payback.
Payback, great
Yeah,
payback.
will be happening next week on Saturday night. So I guess let's start with that one. If I could pull it up in time, I can't apparently.
Mm.
So if I click 2023, there we go. Now I got it. It is on my 6 matches announced so far. Jose, I'm going to tell you the matches. You're going to tell me who's winning the matches.
All right.
Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus in a steel cage match.
Becky Lynch.
I think Becky Lynch is going to have this match, especially since
And
the
Trish
last few times.
disappears. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Seth freaking Rollins defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura. He
You think?
knows your weakness. Watch your back.
I mean, it could be. It's a new era for the title. We could see it change hands. I think Seth Rollins is going to retain the title. I don't see a reason to take it off him right now.
I think he needs to go on a break. I think he needs a little bit of a vacation. He's been working super hard for super long. This gives him a chance.
Maybe him and Becky can go on a vacation after this.
There you go.
Did you see though? I mean, I don't know if you watched Raw yet, but apparently Seth Rollins came out with the Fiend side plates on his title.
What? Oh, I gotta see that now.
That's pretty cool.
All right.
Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's World Championship. I personally think this is time for a title change. I think Raquel Rodriguez is going to defeat Rhea Ripley to win the title.
I think Rhea Ripley needs that title to represent Judgment Day. She is the leader of Judgment Day as of now. So she needs it. She needs to defend it one more time. Maybe shenanigans.
Rey Mysterio defending his United States title against Austin Theory. Seeing how Austin Theory kind of lost it to Rey a few weeks ago, I think Austin's going to win it right back. What do you think?
Austin Theory win, but it comes with a reboot. He's going to get rebooted somehow.
LA Knight versus The Miz in a singles match. LA Knight, I guess.
Course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then recently announced Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Judgment Day, the team of Damian Priest and Finn Balor for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. I mean, I'm going to go with another title change. I think Judgment Day wins these ones and Rhea loses hers.
Oh, wow. So Judgment Day just ends up in shambles like that? Ooh. I think your little buddy, what's his name? What's the Finn's little buddy?
God. He was
Chris
just on
Benoit.
God.
No, sorry.
JD McDonough.
Yes. I think he gets involved and costs Judgment Day their titles.
Okay. So I said we had Payback, but 1 week after All In, we're getting All Out.
Oh, and I'm all spent.
Got to go in to go out. $50 fucking bucks both weeks. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ. Luchasaurus defending his TNT title against Darby Allin. What do you think?
I don't see Darby Allin winning this. I don't know.
I don't either.
After an event where we have a full face wins across the board, Luchasaurus wins.
Miro and Powerhouse Hobbs in a clash of the hosses, I guess. I mean, I don't know, man. It's like both these guys have a stop and start push on them. I would rather Powerhouse Hobbs win, but what do you think?
I would rather Powerhouse win, but Miro needs this so bad. He
Yeah.
needs this win.
Chris Statlander defending her TBS championship against Ruby Soho. I don't know. I mean, with the Outcast in shambles now, seemingly separated, I can see Chris Statlander defending her title and keeping it.
Yeah, I see it too. This is what her second defense, maybe.
Something like that. Unless I haven't been paying attention, which I totally haven't been paying close attention to. I'm not watching like Rampage, so
Yeah, I'm not me neither. Yeah.
Orange Cassidy is defending his international title against it's a three-way match versus Penta Oseo Romero and John Moxley. So this is gonna be one hell of a match. I think this will be match of the. Oh no, I take that back. Never mind. The main event will be match of the night.
Yeah.
What do you think of this match? I mean,
You have to ride that orange wave. You have to keep riding it.
you think so? Like, I
Yes,
think it's time
yes.
to take the title off him.
No,
man.
no. I think you could last a couple more events.
I
Unless, I mean, he did get the pin this weekend, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I'll still go with orange.
I think John Moxley is going to win this title. I think that'll elevate the title a little bit more too.
Yeah. It will. But Penta could always take it to Mexico.
I mean, he could. It is the international title, and it makes
Mhm.
more sense to defend it internationally, and that'd be cool.
Oh wow! Gee. So it's a 3-3 and a third chance for each one of them.
Yeah. Kenny Omega versus Konosuke Takeshita. I always mess up his name with Don Callis in a singles match. Only 5 matches announced so far. What do you think of this match?
I would like Kenny to win, but then what do you do? So Takeshita to add intrigue into that whole beef and that whole Don Callis scenario.
And this is probably Takeshita's biggest singles match he's ever had.
It is, and Kenny will be doing him a favor by putting him over. So yeah, I go there.
And it's weird. Like I said, it doesn't seem like CM Punk's going to be on the show in Chicago. No world title on the show. So I wonder what the buy rate's going to be like for this one. I wonder if people are going to skip out for this one. I'm definitely not. I'm going to buy the show. Unfortunately, you're going to buy the show.
I have other means.
You acquired. Hey, I acquired it. It fell off a truck and into my hands.
Yeah. I'll be picking it up from off a truck. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that about does it here for us today. We're going to get out of here. We'll be back next week talking Payback and All Out. Hopefully, no more breaking news this week. So,
yes.
For City Wrestling Radio, I'm Corey Smith.
I'm Jose Osagada.
And you have a wonderful day. Take care and see you later. Bye.